Yes. Hello and welcome to yet another fantastic, amazing episode of Pirate Broadcast. Hold on, let's get here. Showtime. Wait, no. Here we go. Showtime. We're gonna do something here. All right. So I'm doing a. Hey, what's up? You know what I've noticed is that in wintertime it starts getting cold. I mean, it's not wintertime yet, but seasons are changing. Things are changing. Like evenings are getting chilly. So yeah, hey, check it out. Yeah. So this is a pirate broadcast just because I felt it important and necessary to take note of a bunch of topics. Things are moving so fast that I don't really want to do just like once a week type things. I kind of want to keep talking about stuff, and yeah. So I started a new world because this whole it's not on the server. It's just my private world. I can upload it to the server if I want, but like this is like a brand new one of significance because yeah, dude, some big stuff happened today on this day. Long ago, what, 17 years. And today is a day we remember not only the people who died in the attack, but also the people, the heroes, who died trying to help them and trying to save them. So in ancient Greece, they have this deal where ancient Greece, you have your comedy and your tragedy, the masks, the mask or the tragedy mask. Okay, well the deal with the ancient Greeks, with the whole art form, was that things could only be a comedy or a tragedy, and that if you wanted to eliminate the human spirit and raise it up as much as you can only do that through tragedy. And if you wanted to make fun of humans and show how lame they are, you do that through comedy. So yeah, 9/11 was a great tragedy, and in that tragedy, it was illuminated the amount of just amazingness, the amount of light that comes out of humans. Like when you need to do it, it's like they do it. So yeah. So yeah, today was pretty rough. I talk about what does it mean to be an American? What does it mean to be American? And I mean every day in the moment of call, you just have to because that's what you gotta do. That's being American. Everyone wants to point to all these other things, these superheroes or whatever, like Captain America or all the war heroes. But really, it's every day. That's what makes up America. It's not at war. I mean, it's important, right? But America is made and remade every single day, because you do it once, but then things break down, so you have to keep doing it in order to maintain it. So it's made and remade every single day by people, just doing what they have to do at the moment calls.
And it all depends on me.
Okay.
It all depends on you. And it all depends on me.
Okay, and here's the other part. Now here comes the comedy. That's meant to highlight the stupidity of humans. Get ready. So yeah, hey. What was it? I think Trump called it a success. 3,000 dead. 3,000 dead. Success. Wow, we're, you know, pretty lucky. Thank goodness for Trump, right? Only 3,000 dead. That's it. Jeez. Ha ha. Oh wow. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, 9/11, not Puerto Rico. Yeah. Because, you know, Puerto Rico, those are Americans too. All those people that Trump abandoned. Those are Americans. They're not, you know, just as American as the people in those towers, as the people running into the buildings. They're just as American, because they too every day are making America. But it's a different, it looks different. It just looks different, but it's America. They're Americans.
And it all depends on.
So yeah, okay, wait a minute. I need to make shelter or something. Face the ocean. Yeah. Did I get a pickaxe? Yeah, I got a pickaxe. Nice. I don't need you right now. Oh wait, yeah, I can. I can be like, yo, what's up? Okay. Okay. Alright. Who's that? Okay. So, what else is going on? So, yeah, Puerto Rico. 3,000 people died from a storm. There's a storm barreling down in North Carolina right now, too. But I bet you the Trump administration is going to be real attentive to them, because they want them to vote Republican. Like, what? That's so ridiculous. So yeah, so I mean, you know what? It's like an old spirit. That's what it is, right? It's an old spirit that's finding new ways to poltergeist. It can't actually take over a body. It can't actually like live, but it'll do like little things to make it know that it's still there. That's like the Confederacy. I mean, we saw it over in with that cop shooting that guy in his house. And then at first the cops didn't do anything. It wasn't until there was pressure that they arrested her and put charges on her. And then what was her excuse? That he didn't follow orders. Man, she's talking like a cop. Like, who were you? You weren't a cop at that time when you did that. You weren't even in your house. So I mean, like, okay, I need to make stuff. Furnace. It's getting dark. I need something to burn. Oh, I don't have any more wood. I broke it all up. I gotta run out there. Alright, I got an axe. Oh, it's getting dark. Sun's setting. Oh, there's a cave. I could use that one. Oh, there's a skeleton right there. I don't have any. I have a stone pickaxe. Come on, let's go, bro. Got my stone pickaxe on you, homie. Yeah, punk. What are you gonna do? Take your bones. I have to get some of this wood here. Wood is good. Good wood. Wow. Okay. Pretty. Let's see what we got here. Okay. We got some of that. And we got this thing we can burn. I'll throw in this arrow. No, can't burn arrows. What else do I got? More wood. That'll do me for a little bit, I think. Oh, wait a minute. That's what I was supposed to do. I burned my pickaxe. Burned my okay. Man, I'm not talking anymore. Look at me. I'm all survival mode. Don't talk, live. Make 2 swords. Make an axe. Oh, make a pickaxe because you're just about to die. And then make a shovel. And then what is that? Cocoa beans? What? Okay. No, you're not making nothing else. Alright, more wood. Oh wait. 4 charcoal. I can make torches. Make 1 torch because I have no sticks. No more coal. 16 torches. Alright. Bob. Mark out my front. You're here. I'm here. Come on, I'm here. Come get me. Make some doors. Make some doors for you. Oh, wait. I learned a trick. Oh, I gotta, let's see. I need pressure plates. Can I make pressure plates? What do I need to make? I gotta make 1. Acadia. There we go. 1, 2. So like that. Like that. Right, okay. Super cool. So I was walking today, like I normally walk, and I ran into some guys, and one of them asked me about transvestites, transgender, and I'm like, okay, that's a great idea. You know what? I talk about a transgender person. I give her great props. Her name is ContraPoints. You'll find her on her YouTube and everything else. And she has this great video called How to Spot a Fascist. And I love that video. That video has taught me a lot about how to be articulate. How to articulate some of the things I want to say very clearly and easily. And Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great. She is transgender, so she would probably be the best person to like talk to rather than me. But in the absence of that, hey, I'll talk about it. I'm not a transgender guy at all. I like, so I almost can't say anything about it, right? I mean, I'm not supposed to, I guess. I don't know. But I told the guy, the young guy, to like just be cool, man. It's not your body. It's like them, like let them do what they let people do what they want to do, because it's not your stuff. They're on their own trip. You're on your own trip. Just like you don't want them to make laws against you or something. I don't know, but like he wasn't buying it at first. he wasn't buying it. I didn't know how else to explain it though, you know. I mean, like, you can have your own personal, you know, ideas about the rightness or wrongness, the morality or the whatever of transgender stuff, right? I mean, I'm not saying like you have to think the way I want you to think. You can think the way you want to think. That's cool. What's not cool is to like pass laws and enforce your view on other people. I mean, that goes too far. And you may even think that, oh yeah, well, they're harming themselves. Well, yeah, but we let people smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol. That harms them too, right? But it's not, you know, you don't pass laws against that unless you're a child, but that's another story. Yeah. So, what else is going on I want to talk about? So yeah, okay, so that brings me to another thing. Alright, well, transgendered stuff in general. Like, that's not my science area. I can't, like, I can talk about gender. I can't talk about the biology of it. The biology of it that I've read other scientists talk about is that, like, even that's on a spectrum. That there is no, like, you can't be like, yo, this is X and this is XY chromosome and this is XX chromosome and that's it. Because even that's all trippy. like for real. And it's all natural. It's not drugs, it's not nothing. It's just, that's the way you come out, right? I came out with a cleft palate and, you know, it was corrected through surgery. And, but you know, it's natural. That's how it happened. It happens sometimes. Things happen sometimes. So and you can't, like, my cleft palate when I was a kid. That like, I got like a lot of crap from that from other kids. It was like pretty harsh. It was pretty harsh. I hope that experience isn't common amongst everyone. But I was pretty low income, and I don't know. It was pretty not cool. Like my dude cat here is like, "What's up, dude cat? Get out of here." Yeah, leave her alone. Anyways, so yeah. Is it daytime? On an axe and my axe. So yeah, so if that can happen, if something like that can happen to me based on like nothing, right? I mean, it just happened, and that I had a birth defect, what if you want to call it, congenital defect, what have you. It can happen, and then all sorts of diseases and weird things that happen that are congenital. All sorts of it, tons of it. So you have to know that part of that is going to be stuff relating to your chromosomes and your what do we call that, form, your phenomenal appearance. I don't know. your your appearance, your what the outcome of it. I don't know. I forgot the word. What I'm trying to say is, it's a spectrum. Sometimes things are different. They don't turn out the way we expect, and that doesn't make the person bad or stupid. It doesn't make them less than you. It just makes them different because that's how they came out. That's how God made them. If you want to be like that, right? Like they had no say in the matter. That's how God made them. If you want to be like that. So, and if we look at it, because that's what science is. Science, if you get down to it, really, really basic, science is nothing more than looking. That's all you really do. You're set to make sure things are like okay, and then you watch, and then you write down what you see. I mean, yeah, you gotta set up experiments and stuff, but a big part of it is watching and looking and observing, because that, like, everything's based on observation, empirical evidence. In science, it's not just mumbo jumbo. It's like, sorry, I'm like, wait a minute. No, it's science is actual. It actually works. It's based on rigor. It's rigorous, structured, all sorts of great stuff. Science is great. It's wonderful. So, yeah, I don't want to kill this tree. So, yeah. Doing I need a hoe. So, okay, so if we understand that our biology is literally on a spectrum where you can be expressed in any sorts of different ways, like biologically, like irregardless, and then like even your genetics are on a spectrum. Even genes are on of expression of how they pop out, how they come out, how they're actually formed. So you can't apply a morality to it because it's just the way it comes out. It's just biology. So you can't make it into morality when it's biology. So given that, then you have to also know that sexuality, human sexuality, too, is on a continuum. Has many different forms of expression, and in our world, I would say that the only real deal that you have when it comes to expressing that sexuality is consent. Humans can arrange themselves in whatever manner they choose, I suppose, like to get the rocks off. But it has to be consensual. That's the big deal. Consensual. It must be consensual. If it's not consensual, it's bad mojo. Plant seeds. Just gonna get a hoe. Make a hoe. There we go. So we're gonna plant this at. Start my farm. Start right here. Oh, I don't have a bucket. Ha 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 ha. No bucket for me. I got dirt. A little bit. No, I don't. Okay, so if two dudes want to hang out together and love each other, that's great. Two chicks want to hang out and love each other, that's great. if some person wants to change their body, which is theirs, their vessel, their thing, right? Their deal. If they want to do something to it, to change it, let them do it. It's not yours. Because the idea that it's not yours, man, that works for lots of stuff. like, if it's not yours, don't worry about it. if two women want to like hang out together, like it's their business. It's not yours. Don't worry about it. Like if you're curious, you can ask, but if you're a jerk, they're gonna let you know, and you're not gonna have friends anymore. Because yeah, you shouldn't be hateful to people. People are great. Humans are great. Be nice to humans. Okay. So I hope that clarifies the whole humans different than what you're used to thing. Like let them be different. Let humans be humans. As long as they're not hurting people and they're not taking away people's consent or like doing things against their will, you know, then it's all good. I mean, it's more for this guy, this little kid, not little, I mean, he was a high school kid that I talked to on this walk today, than anyone else. But like, yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta say these things. I don't know. Maybe, you know, am I recording? I hope. Let me see. La la la. Yes. 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 La. 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 Okay. What's up? What's up? There's a spider swimming in the water. Here, plant seeds right here. I don't have many anyways. No, the wrong tool. You used the wrong tool. Ooh, I have a lot of dirt. What am I talking about? What am I? Okay. So, yeah. Spiders won't hit me in the daytime. Ha ha ha. Okay, what do I got here? I got beetroot, some carrots, and some wheat. Let's do this. Oh boy, I can't wait. Nothing else. Oh, I can. Oh, oh yeah, that's right. Come over. I want to kill you now. I want your string. Yes. Yes, your string. I want your string. There's one. A little bit more, and I can. Oh, I'm starving. I need to eat something. An apple. Ooh, there's a pig. Ooh, there's a chicken. So there's food around. Okay, so what else was I talking about? Okay, so yeah, this idea of like it's none of your business. It works for a lot of things. Like it works for different sexualities, for different genders, for different biological expressions, you know, that humans are gifted with. And it also deals with like women in general, right? Because women, I talked about this earlier in regards to hi chicken, hi. Oh, hey, what's up, little chicken? Hi. Oh, jeez. You got an egg. I can't really use you. Didn't see a pig over there.
No money, no weed,
Come on, piggy pig. One more chicken for now. Is that a cow? There's a sheep. I will come back for you later once I have steel. I have like no iron. I have nothing. What? Okay then, let's see. Oh, I have no more coal. But I can make some real quick. All right. This other thing I want to talk about is a movie that came out really recently called Active Measures. That movie is great. You should really go see it. You can probably watch it somehow on a computer or Hulu or something. All right. So, but what it does is it lays out what we already know about the whole Trump-Russia connection. And I saw a message or I saw a poll today that was about support for Kavanaugh, and 39% oppose and 38% support Kavanaugh, which to me is still outrageous. Like, you shouldn't support him at all. No one should, because he's just terrible, and he's yeah. But even that there's that many people that support it is crazy. I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. Like, I really don't know what to do about it. I think, okay, so I said this before. The way as California goes, so goes the nation. Like 10 years later or whatever. So, in California, they passed, like, they had all these like messed up laws because the Republicans had control for so long in California that they passed a law in California by initiative that made it so that you needed like a majority, you needed a super majority to pass any kind of revenue increasing legislation, so to raise taxes basically. So that meant California, like, even though their budget, even though Democrats had a majority, they couldn't really do anything because Republicans like held veto power over everything. It wasn't, and then so it was all messed up there. It wasn't until like recently, I forget how recently, but pretty recently, that California finally got to the point where there were no Republicans there anymore. they couldn't even stop a supermajority. Not enough Republicans to stop a supermajority. So oh wait. Oh crap. What? Not enough. Not enough. To even have a supermajority to stop us. So now the Democrats could finally get their agenda going, and that's when you saw California turn around. Like I think California's doing pretty great. Their budget's on track. Their economy is kicking butt. They're like I don't know. I've heard just that's just been like doing really good. But I mean, the whole nation's doing good right now. As far as I'm, well, if you're doing good already, you're doing great. Let's say that. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Om nom nom. You know, I need that wood, but oh well. I have more. Make some boxes. Make a box, because I don't have enough wood. Most efficient pool. All right. So active measures. So I want to break it down real quick. You can watch this guy Bill Broder. He gave testimony before a committee somewhere, who talks a lot about how Putin's business empire came into being. This movie explains that also, how Putin came into power basically. And then you see how Trump became entwined into Putin's circle and beholden to Putin. So I think once we see Trump's taxes, it's gonna be nuts. Yeah, like Trump basically he lost all his money in a gamble with Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, or like I think New Jersey or something, and it failed, and he went broke, and he stiffed all the banks that lent to him. So after that, like none of the banks, American banks, would lend him anymore. No Western bank would lend to him. So he was gonna be broke. So he went to the only people that would give him money, which was the Russian mafia. And yeah, he used it to make hotels, and then he would launder their money. So Trump is beholden to Russian oligarchs. They saved him from debt, and now his business is to launder their money with his properties around the world. It's pretty gross, and now he managed to get himself into the Oval Office, which is pretty insane, because he didn't manage to get himself there. The Russians helped him. So at this point, you kind of wonder, if you're a Republican, like, I mean, you're siding with Russia. I mean, do you guys understand that? I mean, is it clear to you that that's what's going on? Like, there can't be any more like conservatives out there that are siding with this administration. It just can't be. Like, this is like, there's nothing conservative about this guy. This guy is just insane. Like, yeah, like, you cannot, like, so Republicans are kind of aiding and abetting him, and it's kind of awful to watch, and I'm kind of sick about it. But what am I gonna do? I mean, like, I can't tell who amongst my neighbors and friends, which I don't have any, so ha ha ha. Like, that's how alienated I've gotten myself with my talk and my like actions and speech. Like, no one wants to hang out with me. Like, so, I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Je sais pas. But yeah, things be grim. Things be grim, man. What else? Ooh, hey, that hurts. Okay, I need a new chair. Charcoal. Okay. So okay, like, when I say that the Russians have taken the White House, it's not hyperbole. I'm not like talking big, like, oh, I want to be tough. Like, Trump is a Russian guy, a Russian mob guy. The Russians have control of the White House. It's not a joke. And what they're doing now is that they're trying to cement control over the country. And the thing is, they've done this before. They've done it like twice before. They did it to Georgia, which is like just off of, that was like the very, very first one. That's little country just off of Russia. And when it was going on, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't understand it because, like, I don't know. I didn't know. And even afterwards, I didn't really know until I watched this movie. So I'm telling you, you gotta watch it. But basically, it was like the prototype version of what they did to us here. They did a disinformation campaign to install a puppet. But then then the people like revolted. And then so they threw out the puppet. And then they had a new election. But Russia ran like their own dude in it. And then they ran a disinformation campaign. And so the real woman, the real candidate lost to the Russian puppet. And then the real candidate, then of course, because the Russian puppet won, Ukraine became very oppressed. The people became oppressed, and they jailed the former the other person because she dared to run against them, and on trumped up charges. Yeah, and then they ruled until the people threw them out in another revolution. And like, so like, I don't want that horrible struggle to happen here. Like, but they're trying to make it happen. That's what they're trying to do here in America. They're trying to do the same thing they did to Ukraine the same thing they did to Ukraine. They want to do to us here. I mean, and that's what's happening. That's the skinny of it, the quick version. Like, Trump is super dirty. He's absolutely involved in this whole with the Russians, and the GOP are helping him. So I think they took the laundered mob money, is what I think the deal is. The GOP is now stuck with him because they took his laundered mob money to run their campaigns. So yeah, like it's kind of scary what's going on because things like superficially look all right, but like things could go bad real quick. And I hope we can like maintain that spirit that we had on 9/11 that day, where we were able to band together and recognize each American as another American and help each other out. And how we failed to do in Puerto Rico under the Trump administration. So here, I might as well say this now. So I'm not sure if I should, but like, okay, so yesterday I made I commented on the whole Serena Williams, Naomi, Osaka thing, and now I see that it's being trumpeted by like a lot of white supremacists. So I apologize for disparaging anything. I didn't mean to disparage Serena Williams. I'm just saying, because what it turned out was that her coach was coaching. He admitted to it. He did it. He said he did it. So like, she was betrayed by her coach. It sucks. But at the same time, I'm feeling, like, and tennis. It's not even my sport. It's not even my sport. Like, it's none of my business. So, like, I just saw it in the news. So I apologize for saying anything. Yeah. What else? What time is it? I don't know how long I've been going. Like 20 minutes. Like I haven't really done anything in this world. Survived like the first couple nights. Now I'm getting my first iron. Like, ooh, make my first mine. Just because, I wanted something different. The other world, my server world, doesn't have a big ocean, and it kind of makes me sad. Okay then. So yeah, ba. Oh, bedrock. Okay, nice. I should have played hardcore. Make this interesting, huh? Try to find the deepest I can. I think this is it. That's one. Yeah. So, what am I doing? I'm playing Minecraft. I'm telling you, yeah, our country's in danger. Yeah, I'm playing Minecraft. The country's in danger. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is good. But what am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna vote. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm looking for people who aren't voting. I'm talking to people. I think that's the big thing, is that you gotta talk to people. You gotta find out like who doesn't know what's going on. Because yeah, big things are going on is what's going on. Big things is going on. Is what's going on. So yeah. Well, that's my broadcast. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I think people need to be paying attention because Trump is acting crazier and crazier as the news gets tighter. I mean, Manafort is on the verge of flipping, and everyone, like, I see. I don't know. Maybe it's not the general population, but I keep seeing on the internet, like, people saying, "Oh, there's no evidence, no evidence." Man, by this point, how can you not be seeing evidence? Like, it's like, how can you deny what's been happening right now? Like, how can you do that? I mean, I don't know. Is it because is the bubble that strong? Like, which is kind of frightening to think about, that the bubble would be able to make someone believe so strongly like that, so against like what's actually happening. Power of propaganda. Reef. My little home on the beach. Well, shears with my iron. So get some. Some shears. Iron. Pickaxe. And then a mountain. Where's my map? Oh, there's a sheep. Hey, what's up, sheepy sheep? I'll take your wool. Ooh, 3. That's exactly as many I need. Right there. Alrighty then. Well, I think that's it. I think for tonight, I think that's just a nice little burst of whatever. We'll see how it goes. Thank you for listening. I'm PoGokeRo. Peace. Stop streaming.